right, so YouTube is saying that we're live, so I'm going to trust that. Good morning, Jacqueline. Thank you for being here. I was very late at putting the notification that we were going live on. It was a busy weekend. So, Jacqueline, please let me know if you can hear me okay. You'll be my tester this morning. Oh, in Detroit, Michigan. Nice. I haven't been to Detroit. I was in Chicago once for work. Good morning, Russ and Ingrid. Hey, Katie. If everybody could just let me know if you can hear me okay, I would appreciate that. Hi, Linda. Good morning. Happy brunch. Very cool. Hi, Donnell. A little low. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can make that a little bit higher without it being too crazy. Did that go up a little bit? Sound is good? Okay, perfect. Yep, you can hear me. Good morning. Hi, Stephanie. So the show was a ton of fun. Stephanie's asking about another hobby of mine is short form improv, and we had the theater that we work with had our comedy extravaganza last night. So it was Friday night and Saturday night, but each group did one night. So Saturday night was for my group, Key City Improv, and we all had 20 minutes. And there were a bunch of us and a couple of comics, stand-up comics as well. And it was a ton of fun. We had such a blast. Got so many laughs. It was very fun. And the video, it was videotaped, but we have to get the thumbnail of the picture of us, and so it'll be up on YouTube probably tomorrow night once we get all of the like B-roll and stuff like that. Hi from Kansas. Excellent. Hey, MJ Sows. Oh, okay, so well, it sounds like most are saying the sound is okay, and some is sounding like I'm off in an empty room. Well, I don't know why it would sound like that. Only one, yeah, that sound is off and this sound is off. Just make sure none of the weird, like, reverb and all that kind of stuff is all turned off so that we're good there. The technology part is always so fun. I will say, so fun. And one of the lights is being blocked by... There we go. All right. Okay, so last night was a ton of fun. We had a great time on stage. I love doing that. I'm always so... Hi, Terry. Oh, better now. Okay, so it must have been the weird reverb thing that was messing with it, because I'm assuming a cat walked across said board and turned up the reverb thing. Yeah, that's typically how things go. But today we are going to be, I am going to be working on BJ the Bluejay with sections. I specifically wanted to make sure I was working on sections today that would have the Kona sheen in his tail and wing feathers. So I will be working with Kona sheen on BJ the Bluejay, but this is not the frantic pace that I had before. I am going to do today's cutting the fabric and putting the pieces together in the much more relaxed pace that I normally do when I'm doing it for fun and I'm doing it for my stress relief, and I'm not like on a deadline or having to go into like turbo mode. So I'm gonna just kind of I'll put the overhead camera on. I'll just show you guys, you know, how I normally just work through a legit kit. For the past couple of months, it's been a ton of fun figuring out ways to be more efficient, to sew faster, and to you know, meet my goal of getting the 3 tops that I needed to get done. That has been a fantastic learning experience. I'm super glad I did that, because now I know that with those pieces that I can pound out a legit kit top and sew far faster than I ever thought I could sew. I'm usually like a laid back, I talk a lot. When I talk with my hands a lot, so if I'm talking with my hands, I can't be sewing at the same time. But it was good to learn that I could do that if I need to do that. But I far enjoy the process more when I can just be chill and you know, have fun cutting the fabrics and sewing them together just at a much more relaxed pace. So that's what I'm going to be showing today. And you know, if you have any questions about what legit kits are, or how or why, or you know, any of the things, please put them in the chat. And if you at me, I'm probably better at seeing it when it pops up. Hi, Karen. You started working with the Kona Sheen yesterday, Ingrid. Oh, I'm so excited. I am today also going to be testing, because I found when I started using, and have only found this with the Kona Sheen, the black with the sheen on it. I'm not sure if it's the heat of the iron, but it was kind of taking some of the sheen off. And we were discussing yesterday that the sparkly bit is like an overlay. And so I'm wondering, because I always have my Aliso Mini at like full blast. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. And it was specific to the black. The dark blue didn't do it. The lighter blue didn't do it. So we're going to see. We're going to test it out and try to see if it's a heat thing, or if it's just specific to Kona Sheen in black. And I might have to figure out maybe like putting a pressing cloth over it, and see if that works. We'll see. I'm going to try it out. Karen. Oh, people are having perfect weather. I'm excited. MJ Sews. Hi, Elizabeth. All right. Good morning, everybody. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put the overhead camera on too. Oh, and sewing from ironing from the back helps with the black. I love it. Okay, that's what I'll try this morning too. Hi, Priscilla. Good morning. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to see which one. I think this picture-in-picture will work a little pretty well, where I'm off to the side, but you can see what I'm cutting. So this will be what I go with. Let me get the mouse out of the way though. That's not going to happen or help. So this is the piece that I'm going to be working on. It is from block B1 and unit D, and then I have a couple more units to work on too. Today's folding my paper piece card is from Morgan Kelly Quilts. I found her through I think a TikToker actually, and she's on Etsy, and she does curated bundles. I like her stuff. She was the first person that I'd ever seen do whole cloth quilt tops. Thought that was pretty neat, where it was just one solid piece, and then she does really fun quilting. I haven't gotten into the fun quilting part yet, but that's our card for today. How I normally go about doing it, I will start off with whatever color is piece 1. Have some paper remnants there. So for this one, piece C is piece 1. So someone was talking about perfect weather. How is everybody's weather looking? It is dreary here in Maryland. Sorry if that was loud. I'm going to go ahead and fold I'm folding all of at the sew lines in between the pieces of fabric. So that's what I'm going to do first. Just get them all done. Makes it easier to cut the fabric. For me. Makes it easier for me to cut the fabric. Everybody kind of figures out their own way to prepare their fabrics and their papers for foundation paper piecing. So when you hear what I do, if that doesn't work for you, toss it out the window. For me, I want you to have fun. Whether you use a single thing I do or not, as long as you're having fun and not being too stressed out. It's a brain thing. Like, you got to think about what you're doing paper piecing, but you should be having fun doing it too. And if the way I figure out how to cut my fabric messes with you, don't do it that way. Alright. So there is one. I put my fabrics from the first piece to the last piece on top, and then when I sew it together, I flip it over, so I'm starting with the first piece. So that's piece C, and I think there's only one piece C, yeah. Oh man, that's wild when 92 is much cooler. MJ Sews, I feel for you. I have family that lives out in I feel like Dallas-Fort Worth is just a huge area, so it really means nothing when you say someone lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's where my family lives. Well, some family. Hey, Pat. Ooh, yesterday I had the experience of going and turning in my wall hanging, which you'll see I'm gonna have to figure out figure something to put up behind me, another wall hanging or something behind me, because it's so bare. I feel it's so boring back there now. But I turned the wall hanging that was here, which are the pinwheel stars, made in Island Batiks, and turned that in yesterday at the Great Frederick Fair, and that was an experience. I'm so glad I did it. I'm really good at talking myself out of doing things that make me a little bit uncomfortable, and I was very proud that I did not let myself talk myself out of doing something that made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. So I went, I stood in line in the heat for an hour. There were so many people. So yesterday's turn-in the building that I was turning things in, there were other buildings having things turned into, like all the 4-H kids were turning in all their projects from the past year in another building. So cute. So many Lego building things of like the Great Frederick Fair, and of different 4-H things, like the husbandry building and stuff. So it was just really cool to see the kids out there excited to turn their things in. But the building I was in, we were turning in photography, digital art, traditional art, and all of those categories for like mixed media, oil, acrylic, that kind of stuff, paintings, I said photography, and all of the different kinds of photography. Crocheted and knitted items, but not clothing, so like Afghans and bags and things like that. Quilting, all the wide range of different quilts that they have. Not quilted clothing though. That's next week. And then I'd really not paid any attention to like what the prize money was for these kinds of things, but people were talking about, you know, why they submitted to the Great Frederick Fair, and they were talking about, oh, you don't make a lot of money. So I came back and I was reading it, and it's like first place gets $6. I was like, oh, no wonder they're not that worried about it. So it really is, for the Great Frederick Fair, it is really all about just the bragging rights and the ribbon that you get. So I thought that was really funny, because I paid no attention. You know, the first time entrant, I'll you know, just be so excited. They judge the Saturday morning that I'm up in Walnutport for the retreat with Stephanie and with Ingrid, and there's 14 of us. I feel like there's 14 of us, but it might be 14 at the boot camp for legit kids. So if I have numbers wrong, but that's when they're doing the judging. So I won't be here for it. So I'm gonna have to have some folks go check it out for me. Not that I'm expecting anything, but it sure would be fun to find out that I'd gotten something. But there were a ton of people, and it was so hot and muggy. But the conversations were fun. The kids were the most adorable. So excited about what they were doing. I was shown many Great Frederick Fairs done in Legos. That was very cute. And I mean, that's kind of like, you know, the point of all of this, is to get the next generation excited about these kinds of things. So it was very nice. The 14 in, yay, okay. Same in Cobb County, it's just bragging rights. Yeah, I thought that was so cute. I was like, best in show gets a $10 bonus. I was like, all right, very cool. So funny. But there were some, the most adorable, because I was very concerned, and having read the 200 billion page document, that nobody had said anything about hanging sleeves and things like that. And so I was like, well, you know, I have the command strips, you can see those above my head, was what was holding up the wall hanging. So I brought, based on Lauren's recommendation, I brought extra command strips, because I just didn't know. I've never seen how the quilts, I've never even walked through that building for how the quilts were shown in years past, because I'm a pandemic baby of quilting, and so we didn't have the fair for a couple of years, and I hadn't thought about entering last year, so I had no idea how they were hanging them up. And I thought, oh, what if I was supposed to have put a hanging sleeve? And one of the women was like, no, that's why I love this fair, because we don't have to add a hanging sleeve, and I have no time to be adding hanging sleeves. And I was like, okay, very cool. So I'm not sure how they display them, if they just like clamp them to, because there were wire, not shelving, wire, I don't know, walls, you know, a gridded wire wall. So I'm wondering if they just, you know, clamp them, or like clothesline pin them to the wire. I'm not sure. But yeah, definitely didn't need a hanging sleeve. And the women were so cute. And the two that were ahead of me, were also quilters. They were two ladies. Anyway, I don't know why I'm trying to give you the specifics of it, but anyway, two ladies in front of me were also quilters, and they were so cute, and they made me feel so good, because they were like, oh, sweetheart, that is just lovely. And I was like, I win! I don't have to have anybody else, just the people in front of me just complimented me on my wall hanging, and I was so excited. I know, I blushed. It was so cute. And they were just so helpful and friendly and excited that it was my first time entering anything, and you know, wishing me well, and wanting me to, make sure I come back again next year, no matter what the outcome is. It was just the sweetest thing. I was so excited. Like, I don't know. It's just a good, you all know. It's just a good group of people. And I'm sure there's some competitive spirit. I'm sure there's several of those ladies who know each other who have entered time and time again in Frederick, who are probably, gunning for each other. But as the new person on the block, they were very gracious, so cute, so fun. So I was very appreciative of that. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to being back again next year. Because now I will definitely, now that I know what it looks like and how I go through the whole process, I'm gonna have some more stuff entered next year. Maybe BJ the Bluejay with all of the Kona sheen in it. I think that would be fun. Yes. Oh, hey, adding hanging sleeves after the fact. Yeah, I did watch some YouTube videos, and I was like, if they turned me away because I didn't add a hanging sleeve, I'm gonna be okay, because that looks like a lot of hand sewing, and I want no part of that. So, but no, crisis averted, all good. And yeah, the admiration of fellow quilters, it does. Oh, I was just, as they say, chuffed. I was so chuffed. It made me feel so good that they were like very complimentary. So with using the Kona sheen, I have to, where before in the other legit kits, and where I was just using Kona solids, I didn't have to worry about right side, wrong side, but with the Kona sheen, I have to worry about how I'm cutting it, so that the sheen is what's on top, and so the angles are correct. And it's been a little while since I've had to worry about that. and it's been a little bit to go, oh, so this needs to be like flipped over. It's been a mess. So sometimes I'll just cut it big enough so no matter how I put it on, it's going to work out fine. Which is what I'm going to do right now. But, okay, well, I say that, then I feel like I'm not teaching. So let's think it through, because I have to think it through every single time, so let's think it through together. So this is the sew line, and when I put the sheen on, I will be putting it right sides together like this, and then flipping it out this way. Right? I'm not even showing it. So I'll be laying it. This is the sew line to put. P is the black, which will be in the sheen. This is the sew line. So piece 3 will already be on, and I'll be lining up the sheen with the 1/4 inch from piece 3 and flipping over to piece 4. If I'm making this more confusing, I really apologize. So this would be how it would need to lay to flip over. So on the shiny side, when I cut it, I know that this triangle piece has to be longer into the sheen than up here, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, but I do have to talk myself through it each and every time, because I'm always worried I'm going to cut it wrong. Boop. What's the best way to cut it? Let's line her up down here. So the Kona sheen, it's very difficult to edit myself. I want to do the whole thing in Kona sheen, which I think would be too much. Like that would be a little extra. But difficult not to want to do that. I had to talk myself out of it. I'm only going to substitute 3 colors. Maybe it's in something I will just go absolutely crazy, but not with this one. Oh, I'm gonna grab a little ruler. Maybe having a kitty visitor here in a second. Bass drop is giving me eyeball. Hello, sir. Oh, he just slid. All right, sir. I don't think this is gonna work, and I don't want you to get cut. Come on, baby. Hi. Can you hop back down? There you go. That was bass drop, everyone. It was back to feeling 100% just fine. We did have another pet scare last night. Well, not such a scare. Our oldest pup, Sadie, who is a big old puppy. She's 97 pounds, and she actually weighs less than what any of the other dogs in her litter weigh. She was a rescue. She was very sick, but now she's incredibly healthy, except she is now prone to UTIs. So my boys didn't get to come to the show last night because they ended up having to take her to an emergency vet, only because emergency vet was the only thing that was open at 8 o'clock at night, or 7 o'clock at night. So that's why she went to the emergency vet, because I couldn't imagine. I know a UTI isn't like such an emergency, but I couldn't imagine having her have to go through that kind of uncomfortableness for the rest of the weekend, waiting to get to the regular vet in the morning on Monday. So away she went, and now she's on her little medications, which she is sneaky and will eat. We were trying to put them in hot dogs and in cheese, and she will eat around them in the hot dog and the cheese. Good morning, Jackie. Hi. There's nothing wrong with being extra. Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Just stacking up all my fabrics over here. Off to the side. And then fold back up. Oh, for those of you who do join us for Village Green, I hope that you saw either Stephanie's announcement last night or the email that I know that I sent late. I saw it was Crab Fest Day yesterday, so we were playing a new card game and goofing off, and I didn't see Stephanie's text until it was like 20 minutes before the live, I think. But Village Green has been rescheduled for this evening at 6 o'clock, I believe, right? 6 o'clock. So if you are able and a part of that fun group of ladies, we'll be sewing up Village Green tonight. And I think I should be able to. I wasn't going to be able to join last night Yeah, I think I should be able to join tonight, so that'll be fun. I'll be excited. No people food for, oh, the stupid heart is in the way. This heart thing on YouTube where it's in the way of the chat. uh, I'm not sure what it says. No people food for something. Yeah, Sadie doesn't usually have people food, but the vet was like, if she has a problem taking medication, give her something that she wouldn't have before. So cheese or a hot dog, whatever she will take for the next week to get the medicine in her, so that she gets the bacteria out of her system and everything. They were like, please do. So no shame in that game. I'm doing what they said to do to get her to take it. But what we've discovered is, if Lilu is there also getting a treat, Sadie will eat the treat really fast and won't eat around the medicine. So we will we'll pop it in the hot dog and have treats ready for Lilu, and then Sadie gets competitive and she's like, oh, nobody's getting my food, so she doesn't even look for the medicine that way. So it works out. Oh, Captain Hank is prone. Hi, Sandra. Is it Sandra or Sandra? I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. I have him on a special diet now. Yeah. Oh, always when when the vet is closed. Yes. They have a sixth sense about these things. I swear it. There we go. Alright, so I have all of my pieces, and if this were, I was going to be cutting ahead of time and storing them, I have flipped over my stack with piece number 1, and this is when I would pin them to the paper unit that I'm using. I'm just going to go ahead and sew it up because today is casual, easy breezy sewing legit kits day, so I don't have to like try to get all these cut and put together. So I'm going to go ahead and start, but I do still flip it over so that I have piece 1 on top, and so it's piece 1 through piece 5 for this unit, and away we go. Oh yes, so the pieces are very small, but when I'm setting up my pieces, I do trim them pretty close to what the final size will be, because I've been doing this. I don't like how that sometimes sounds pretentious, but because I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I've been so focused on specifically FPP for the past several months, I've found that this is what works for me, where then I don't have to trim afterwards. So if you can absolutely, and I suggest all the time, if you are very new to this or you are uncomfortable with it, you can, and I think Russ and I talked about this, you can cut these into like long rectangles, squares, larger shapes, that you will know for sure will cover the piece that you need to be covered. But then you do the trimming afterwards. And when I first started, that is 100% what I did. I cut in very large swatches of fabric for the piece that I was going to cover, and then trimmed it down afterwards. Me doing it this way, I am absolutely running the risk of maybe not having it covered all the way, but I'm to the point that I'm comfortable and confident enough that I do have it right, and then I don't have to trim in between. So I'm saving that trimming step by doing that extra trimming in the beginning, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But again, whatever you're comfortable with, because for the majority of the fabrics that Legit Kit sends in their kits, and then how they would recommend you buy if or pull from your stash if you're doing it for yourself, it is definitely enough fabric for you to be generous. And in the class that Ingrid and I took with, hey Philippa, good morning. Well, good evening out in Australia. Are you back in Australia or are you still in Toronto? I don't remember. Hi, Shelley. Good morning and afternoon and evening, depending on where you're at. Oh, see, now I started reading the chat and lost my thread of what I was talking about. But yeah, so you should have plenty to do the larger cutting. And it's 1,000% whatever you're comfortable with. I want you to be comfortable. If seeing me do these so small gets you concerned, you don't have to, like, all you have to do is, like for P, this one right here, just a big old rectangle that covers the whole thing, and then you can trim it down. You don't have to cut so small. And for the precision piecing, like what I'm doing for our East studios, where we're cutting, 1-inch squares, and then traditionally piecing those together. Those have to be 1-inch squares because that's what you're putting together. That's what you're building. For foundation paper piecing, the pieces you start with don't have to be precise to begin with, because you're trimming as you go to get the final end result of super crisp and precise piecing on the paper. That's what the foundation kind of helps give you, that wiggle room, so that you don't have to be so precise. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, right. You could literally just use an entire yard of fabric for this one little triangle. If that's what makes you comfortable, totally work. That would be a lot of fabric to futz around with, though, trying to flip over. Oh, so you are back in Australia. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you traveled safely and you're back home. So it's Monday morning at 1:30. Yeah, jet lag, that is like the ultimate amount of jet lag. Oh. Well, I'm so excited that you had such a successful trip. Too much alliteration there. Getting my S's all messed up. And that you are back home safely. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get to sewing this guy up, and I'll show you what we have. As I'm putting them together, this is where I use my lights to make sure I have all pieces covered. So these two blues are too dark for me to really be able to see if by looking up at it through the light. They're too dark to see if I'm actually covering what I should be covering. But that's when I throw in I feel around where that second piece is of fabric to make sure it's covering the seam allowances, the room extra of the seam allowances that I always leave on every unit, and then over the next. So this is piece 1 and 2. I'm also making sure I have enough fabric to cover the seam allowance for piece 3 going on. And we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in. And then I started BJ the Bluejay on row B because row B has a lot of the Kona sheen parts that I'm substituting fabric for. So when I get row B finished up, there's going to be a lot of sparkle to that entire row, which I'm very excited about. The way, actually, in just a second I can show you the way he here we go. So there will be some sparkle. Oh, let's do this. There will be some sparkle up here in A because everything except his eyeball and his beak that has P, which is the black, will be the Kona sheen. So there's quite a lot of it in his, I don't know, the neckline, I guess, his chin strap. But in B and C and D, these are, oops, over this way, these are the ones I'm going to start with. So I'm going to do the entirety of B. This two-piece one is already done because I just got some of those out of the way. But all of row B and then C2 and probably C1 just so I can make this quad, and then D1 and D2. Oh, but I would want to do the quad this way. All right, so I may have to throw A in too so I can get 2 quads done. I don't know. But I'm doing all the sheen stuff first because I'm so excited about how it's going to look. Oh, he's going to be so adorable. So it's the black Kona that I'm replacing with sheen and 2 of the blues. A very bright blue and a darker blue. And when I get to his chest, I've been also toying around about replacing one of those too. Because extra. So we'll see. We'll see when I get to the chest part if I replace. There's a, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a piece B that's large enough pieces, prevalent enough, but still not taking up too much space. See, now that I say it, I'm thinking I'll probably end up replacing that piece too. Because, you know. Hi, Sheila. Oh, Philippa, that would have been so amazing. We got to get you back here. Gotta get you back here. That way we can meet you too. Stephen and Walter and Stephanie and the Commando Island folks getting to steal all your time. Hey, Heidi. Oh, quilting and crocheting. Awesome. Wouldn't that be funny if I was watching a video last night of these little bluebirds were nesting, like building their nest and then, you know, feeding their babies and everything. And Bass Drop had oh, here we go. I'll do this back. Had jumped up on the table and was getting some head scritches, and he noticed the video and was very much speaking to them and was doing the little chin wiggle that cats do when they're very excited about trying to annihilate whatever it is that they're wanting to hunt. And it was just on my phone. So that would crack me up if he takes offense to this blue jay that is now actually in the house and bigger than he is. So with my legit kits, even legit kits, even in all FPP, I do still use the Easy Press Acorn pen, and you can tell that I've had this pen for a long time because this is not what it looks like anymore. It is like a green label now, but yeah, I've been using this one for a while, and that's just a testament to you just switch out the nib. I've switched this nib out now. This is like a brand newer nib, so this is just from recent. The little extra you can see, but it's a testament to how long these are. Unlike a lot of stuff today, reusable, and you don't have to waste anything. So I use this for FPP too. And I do use a clapper, and then I get these really super flat seams that make me so very happy. Here, let me trim this. Where'd my trimming scissors go? Sometimes I work to get like my space cleaned off so much that I put away tools that I need. So trim that off and make sure it goes right into the trash can so it doesn't go into the bass drop its belly. All right. So I did piece 1 and piece 2, and you can see just a little bit of how, even though I'm trimming fairly close to what needs, the end product needs to be, I do still have some left, carry over to trim when I do the final 1/4 inch seam allowance trim. Yeah, let's go, nope, over this way more. And then that's what it looks like flipped over, and then that's, I don't know if you can tell how flat that seam is, but I'm very happy with that. I usually, with FPP, so I don't warp the papers, I will flip the fabric over and then do, because you don't need a ton of the Acorn Easy Press solution, and so I'll just do very, thin, just a little bit, so that it's going through 3 layers of fabric, so that I don't get any warping or any of the print bleeding into the fabrics that I'm using, because I want to, prevent that pretty much at all costs. I don't want any bleeding ink from the papers, so that's why I'll do it through the 3. When I'm traditional piecing, I'm not worried about, any bleeding or papers warping or anything like that, so I'll just do right on the seam before I flip it over. FPP, I just do it a little bit differently, so I can avoid those mishaps if I can. Well, there we go, that's that one. Next, piece 3. Hi, Shelly C. Oh, speaking of Blue Jays, can you hear him? He's mad because I haven't put any peanuts out. Lauren hasn't put any peanuts out this morning either, because it's raining, and so it will just turn into like a peanut soup. So he's angry. He's not getting fed. Oh, and so Oklahoma is the Legit Kit Certified Instructor Boot Camp, the first week of Oklahoma, and my son and I are road tripping, which I literally may be more excited about that. getting a whole road trip with my kiddo is like the best part, and then the class is the cherry on top. But I'm so excited about the road trip. So Evan is coming with me. Lauren is staying here. They don't have the leave, so we get, the animals don't have to go into like a kennel. There we go. That's what I was looking for. They don't have to do any of that stuff or go through any of that stress. Lauren will be at home, and we'll be able to take care of them while we're gone, which I like very much. It works out very much. Makes it difficult for the 3 of us to travel anywhere together, but now that they're like working adults, it's difficult to get time off at the same time anyway, so just kind of does alleviate the stress of having to worry about the animals. Like when after Evan and I get back, a week and a half later, Lauren and I are leaving for North Carolina to go visit my dad. And so that'll be cool. But yeah, Lauren and Diego both will be here. But, you know, the animals are really our responsibility, so I don't put that on Diego. Alright. Piece 3. So after this one, I think standing in the icky yesterday has gotten my throat hurting, and I have a little bit of a stuffy nose. Summer bugs. Next up is going to be the Kona sheen, so I'm going to have to pay attention to how I am ironing that piece. Alrighty. Ooh, a little bit of a shameless plug. If you guys do know and follow, or if you don't know and don't follow, please do. The guy who sews, his name is Sean. I was on his channel yesterday sewing up the Goldilocks, which is Daffodil of Village Green. I was sewing that up with him yesterday on his channel, which is his series Brekkie with the Guy Who Sews. So he is also Australian. And so he goes super early in the morning Saturdays because he has such a wide, global watching base. So it was at 8 a.m. yesterday morning. Excuse me, goodness. And I will add a link to that in the description afterwards. I forgot about that. But yeah, we got to do that yesterday. That was fun. There is the third piece. And this is going to be the Kona sheen. We're going to see if I can eliminate losing some of the sparkle. I don't know if you all can hear. Can you hear? I hear Sadie snoring. Hey, Fallon! How are you doing? Oh, did you, Shelly? Thank you! Yay! Yeah, Fallon, it was such a fun chat. Alright. Ugh. So all of that explaining and trying to figure out if I was going to do the Kona sheen part right, and I think I did it wrong. I may have done it wrong. After all of that. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. Hold on. Hold your horses. I think I was just lining it up wrong. This whole directional fabric, folks. I am not accustomed to doing that. So, I had to think it through there, but we're good. We're going to have everything covered. So see, I was talking about how confident I was, and the quilting gods smacked me. But nope, we're good. I've got the coverage. So if you can see, I'm well enough. So covered on the thing, on the back, we're good to go. Woo! I was worried. Alright, so this is where we're going to be gentle. You want to trim some of this out of the way. Iron it from the back. So I'm going to pull it over and press it from the paper side up, if that makes sense, to try to keep the sheen of Kona sheen. And then from this point on, I only have one more piece to add, but from this point on, I'm going to sew from the paper, or iron from the paper side, so that if the iron does hit Kona sheen, it will be on the back side. It won't be potentially taking the the sparkle. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. The sparkle from it. All right. Yeah, and that worked. Okay. Yay. Can you guys see that? Which way is the light? Oh, there we go. Look at all that sparkle. So yeah, it's still right there in the seam was where I had issue the last time. So thank you, Stephanie. That was perfect. Ironing from the back side worked out just fine. So last piece for this unit. I know, 3 more days. Hey, Teresa. Little trim. Alright, piece 5. So now this one is when you fold the paper over, that's how you can line up, we'll go this way, line up your fabrics so that you know you're covered. Like that. Boom. And then I'm just going to sew right here on this sew line. And this unit will be all done. And then I'll show you how I trim it up. There we go. Gonna iron that on the paper side again so that the Kona sheen that's with the Kona solid stays sheeny, stays shiny. All right. Oh, I forgot to put the clapper on it. It's still piping hot. Oh, thanks, Fallon. Hi, Patty. They are itty bitty pieces, yes. That's my favorite though. I love the tiny piecing portion of FPP. So this will be including working on the block of the month. So that's not a completed top, but I'm still working on that. That's 4. So this is 5. This will be the 5th one. I appreciate that, Teresa. All right, so there's all of the fabrics on. with the sheen shining through. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to trim it up. I always leave, I've heard from some people, I had always heard that when you were dancing at a Catholic dance that you left room for Jesus, but somebody was telling me that they heard it and learned it as they were growing up, that you were leaving room for the Holy Ghost. So whoever you're leaving room for, this extra bit of seam allowance, I always leave that on when I'm paper piecing, because I just want to be extra careful. It's so frustrating. I sew at a very low stitch length, at a 1.2 stitch length, and having to rip that out is tear-inducing. Having this extra allowance of more fabric, and even going beyond that sometimes, depending on where you're lining up the fabric, it may just be easier just to cut a little bit bigger than you would have before. So I just leave all that extra space, and then I trim where I line up my 1/4 inch on the 1/4 inch seam, the sew line that I'll be sewing the next unit to this unit too. So I will line up the 1/4 inch all the way across. And tell me this. I've noticed this in watching so many videos. Depending on where I feel like it depends on where you're located. Do you say across or acrossed? It's fascinating. I love the differences across the country of how people say things. Like, I love different accents. Accents are awesome, but even just how you say a thing. Like, some places say pop and some say soda, and some just call every carbonated beverage Coke. Some places it's a hoagie, some it's a submarine. Yeah, I just love all those differences. Oh, it's stretch time. Nightbot's giving commands again. Oh, travel duffel bag 2.1. Oh, made a cathedral window for your guild. Oh, love cathedral windows. Yay, Shelly! You say across, Linda. Okay. I noticed that. So the first time I noticed it in the quilting conversations is I was watching one of the triple plays from Missouri Quilt, and I noticed that Natalie says across, and I think Jenny says across, but Misty says across. And I was like, oh, it's even in the same family that they say it differently. Like, I wonder where Misty's from. Like, but I know that the Doan family moved up there, so like maybe they said across from where they were from before. I don't know. I just love it. It's all so fascinating. You want a cold Coke with that po' boy? Oh, I love a good po' boy. So is po' boy? So for me, how I've known po' boys is a Cajun thing. Very Nolans. But is po' boy really just kind of like a generic term for, a sandwich, like a sub hoagie roll, I guess po' boy roll, stuffed with different proteins? There we go. There's that unit all nice and trimmed. There's the sheen sparkling. Yay! I'm so excited about the ironing from the backside. keep the sheen nice and shiny. So that's B1D. Next, I will cut for, I don't remember, but we're going to pull it out and we're going to see which one I'm going to cut for. Here is the largest piece of B1, so B1A is the large piece, and then I'm building the smaller pieces to go with it. Nice and greens. Ooh, did the video just go wonky there for a second? Can't tell. Looked like it went wonky. But nice greens and brown of the branch. So that's the first bit. And then, so these are the ones I used. Let's see. These are the ones I finished already. So this is one of the blues. Oh, I wonder if the rain is messing with the oh no, that looks better. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the camera, the stream quality. So this is one of the blues that I substituted, and then here you can see what I was talking about with the sheen, the black, where ironing from on top took away some of the sheen, which I don't think I'm going to fix on this one. I think I'm going to keep it as just a play of light and dark within the black on this. I think it's going to be fine. I'm not too worried about it. But those two pieces are done already, and then this third piece. So this is, what is this? B1B, B1C, and B1D. So those are the three with the sheen in them, all ready for B1 block. Oh, nice, Heidi. Excellent. Hi, Charlotte. Very mid-south. You can get a po' boy in many flavors. Very cool. And it's just a sub. Okay, awesome. I like that. Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arizona. No, Arkansas. AR is Arkansas, and AZ is Arizona. Oh, there was a test of geography right there for me. Use po' boy. Yeah, it was pixelating. Yeah, I thought so. It was hopefully a momentary stream issue. Oh. A little momentary discussion of what's going to happen after today's live. The end of season for a local baseball team. So the Friday night game got rained out, and there was a doubleheader yesterday. Both games yesterday got rained out, so now there's a triple header today.
No, I think they just canceled one.
Oh,
it's just a doubleheader.
Okay, so they canceled. They had to let go of one, and it's a doubleheader again today. So we're thinking about hitting one up. Oh.
But it's supposed to rain again.
Love the things you're looking. Oh, and yeah, and it's. I mean, it was drizzling right now. I don't know if they're going to get these games in or not.
They started at 12.
Oh, okay.
And then the next game will just start immediately after that one, after a short break.
It's going to be a busy day of baseball today out there. All right, so let's see. So piece one is PC, which was in the unit I just did. So I know PC is over here. So PC is 1. The sheen is 2. NV is 3. SR is 4. SM is 5. SM is 6. NV is 7. And LO is 8. So this unit has 8 pieces of fabric in it. That's going to be a lot of seams. So, but a lot of them are, straight across ones. These aren't ones where maybe the seam starts like in the middle. So say with NV, if SM started like in the middle of NV, these are straight across ones. So that's that one, and then this one is waiting for, okay, PN from that first block. A little insight into the madness of how I do this. Just keep all the fabrics from all of the blocks out so I can grab the next colors. So we have PN and MR, and we're waiting for PC and SM and NV from the other one. All right, let's do this. This way. Oops. Drug my trimmings with me. Doing any shopping? So, no, probably not. We have some things planned of what we're going to do when we're on the road to Oklahoma City. We're going to go, we're going to hit Memphis, but we're not hitting Memphis for Graceland. We're hitting Memphis for the Bass Pro Shop. We're going to go to Nashville. My dad's from just outside of Nashville, so we're going to go to Nashville. I don't have too much family left in Tennessee. A lot of the cousins moved out of Tennessee. Family in like Texas, Alabama, that kind of thing. But we're just gonna stop and hang out in Nashville because I love that city so very much. But yeah, it's gonna be more like what Evan wants to do, since he's going to be stuck in Oklahoma City for 4 days doing what I need to be doing. It'll be, the other days will be very specific to the boyo. So yeah. Do you know the difference between a porch and a veranda? So I'm not sure. So in North Carolina, where my dad is, they have a porch, which is the front covered porch, and a lanai in the back, which is also covered, but they call it a lanai. I don't know. So I'm not sure how a veranda lands in the porch, lanai, patio, the whole thing of that. Hi, Marianne. Eat at Hemingway's. So we're traveling the Nashville, Memphis. We're stopping in Little Rock, just to say we have been. That's where we'll be spending the night before we get to Oklahoma City. And then on the way back, we're going St. Louis. We're stopping there. We're going to do the touristy stuff because I want to see the arch, and so does the boy. So we're stopping there. We're going to go through Indianapolis because I was a very fair weather Indianapolis Colts fan only when Peyton Manning played for them. I didn't jump over to the Denver Broncos when Peyton went to the Denver Broncos. I was still a him fan, but I was only an Indianapolis fan when Peyton played for them and was like rooting for them as a team. Yeah, and then as soon as he left, I was no longer an Indianapolis fan. But it'll be fun to stop through the city, which at one point in my life I adored. I've never been there, so that'll be cool. And yeah, so then we're coming back the northern loop. Oh, Patty, you're in Little Rock. That is so cool. A porch and a veranda are the same thing until you have a cocktail. So like a mint julep, then it becomes a veranda. I like it. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because a lot of the houses in that development have pools back there too. Okay, that's why it's a lanai. Very cool. That's so fun. All right, to see, not being pressed, to get BJ completed. I'm able to like focus and on the chat and or a martini or highball. What's a highball? I mean, I've heard highball, but I don't necessarily like. Is it a specific drink or is it just the highball glass and whatever you have in that highball glass is a highball? I'm not really a drinker. I like beer, but I don't really drink all that much. All right, where'd my card go? I need to fold back my paper pieces. Everybody getting ready for the nut house. I have all of my quilty things packed and ready to go. I have none of my, none of the clothing, none of any of that stuff packed and ready to go. I have to go and get some travel size like shampoo and stuff. I think I used it all up the last trip I made, which I think was Pittsburgh. But yeah, gotta hit like. Although I found it Five Below, they now have the travel size stuff there too, so that will save me from having to hit a Walmart on a weekend, which is just never a fun thing. But yeah, gotta get all the personal stuff packed up. Okay, so they are. It's the glass that makes it a highball. Okay, gotcha. I wasn't sure if there was like, a typical, like the highball drink that was always made in the highball glass, and then they just realized that the highball glass was multifunctional. Hey, Donna! We're just talking about the nut house. Yes, Stephanie, you are very right, and which is why I have so anally been getting ready with all of the quilty stuff for Pennsylvania. With a checklist, and started it 2 weeks ago, making sure that I have what is always in my go bag fully stocked and supplied and ready to go. So that is definitely the most important part. Oh, yeah, what suitcase you're going to bring. Yep. All right, let's see. Cut for PC. One little thread. PC cut. Oh, everybody's saying hi. Okay, hi. Shelly's saying may not work. Patty. Oh, okay. Excellent. Thank you, Patty. Marianne's not ready yet, but has the list. See, the list is good because you can check everything off, and then you feel like you confidently that you've covered everything. Oh, road snacks. I know you're probably talking snacks for when we get there, but I'm also thinking road snacks. Ingrid, when we went to Pittsburgh, had a baggie of M&Ms, and that was the best road snack ever. Donna getting ready to get ready. I like it. All right, here we go again. Now we got to talk myself through getting ready for a directional fabric. Though I think with how big this piece, I don't know if you can see this, with how big this chunk is, I think for the black piece here, I might just cut that out and use it. Because I have definitely enough room there and enough room there. So I think I'll just cut across and just use this big old piece. And then I don't have to worry about directionality. Yeah. That's what I'll do. There we go. Piece 2. Excellent. 3 is NV and 7 is NV. All right. Oh, cowtails. Love cowtails. So I know that the go-to gas station sandwich shop thing is different in all of the different places. Donna has 3 lists. Patty, I'll come back to the thread. But I was just so we have Royal Farms, we have Sheets, and we have Wawa here. Wawa, unless I want fried chicken, which Royal Farms kicks all kinds of booty on fried chicken. I like Wawa a lot, but Sheets is closer. I love the fact that Wawa has cowtails right at the register at all times. So I do enjoy a cowtail. Oh, and so Patty, the thread that I'm using is for FPP, or for anything really. If it was traditional piece, I'd probably do it too. Anything that is a wall hanging or is not going to be basically a wall hanging or an art piece, whatever. That's not going to be used for snuggling into, like a quilt or a bag or any other thing, a pot holder or anything like that. I use the Superior Threads Mono Poly or Monopoly, depending on how you want to say it. The filament, this clear stuff. I'm not actually using this cone because to use that cone, this has to go up and then it's in my face and I don't like it. So I'm using a smaller, like just a regular spool. And I use the clear, this thread, the clear thread. And I specifically use Superior because I always iron at highest heat, like crazy heat. And the Superior doesn't melt when using that high heat. Some of the other poly threads will melt at that high of a heat. Excuse me, hiccups. Woo! Oh, nope. Please not hiccups. I've almost gotten the hiccups a couple of times on video now. Hold on a second, I'm gonna hold my breath. Oh, Shelly, I have seen cowtails at a Joann's too, our local one. It's so cool. And the reason why I use the clear is because of the high heat, which is awesome. It will sew beautifully at a low stitch count at 1.2 is what I sew at for FPP. And I am still, even though I keep trying to tell myself to chill and not be so crazy, I am a habitually aggressive ironer. And I do say iron because there is nothing resembling pressing is what I do. Not even close. I like to have the fabrics, which is why I use the Easy Press pen. I like to have it look and feel like those two separate pieces of fabric were always together, like they were just one continuous piece of fabric. And that means not being able to see my stitches, and because of how aggressive I do iron them back, I will often be able to see the thread that I might use with traditional piecing and stuff like Dove, or they sent Glide with the Arnie, the new Juki that I got, and I really like Glide. It's kind of cool. I like it. And like zero fuzz with that because it's not a cotton. I don't know. So I've been enjoying using that. So, but still with the aggressive ironing, I do like to not be able to see it. So that's why I use the monofilament stuff. Yeah, I love Aurifil in the Dove. That is like my go-to. If I had to pick and could only ever use one thread for the rest of my life, Aurifil Dove would be the one, for sure. I love that when they sent the Glide, Glide has pre-wound bobbins, and there's like a paper core, and it's not like a, I don't like how you have the bobbin case on the outside of a bobbin, like for a pre-wound bobbin, or like when you're winding. The Glide it doesn't have that. It's so wild. I don't know, and it's like magnetic, and it goes into the case. Anyway, but yeah, I have to make a final choice, and only ever going to use this thread. It would totally be Aurifil in the Dove color. Yeah, Dove is just good at just kind of blending into almost every single thing. Obviously, if you're, on a super dark fabric, Dove is going to show up, but it's pretty good at just kind of blending in. Alright. See where we can fit NV. Let's try it this way. Coming up here. Down here. Do you all like kind of sing to yourself as you're saying these things alone in your sewing room? You're talking your way through what you're working on. Alright, I might switch to left-handed for that. That just seemed like disaster waiting to happen. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Oopsie, that's what I was trying to avoid. Fabric slipping, but I think we got it. Alright, so it's piece 3 and piece 7 for that, like, navy blue. Piece 7 is a very tiny little right angle down on that piece, so I think I'll be able to slide it up into this section right here cleanly. Yeah, there we go. And I don't think I'm going to fuss too much with the remaining over there. We'll just cut it like that. But you know how I was saying I go from 1 to the last piece, and the last piece being 8? this is 3 and 7, so I'm going to place 7 over here. And because I have the numbered pieces, I'll remember 7 is that piece of navy. Now, if I was doing a bunch of them at the same time, I would not remember that. But because I'm only doing them one at a time, it's all good. SR is piece 4. Oh, I haven't cut SR before yet. Okay. Ooh, a butter yellow thread fades in the background too. Thanks, Shelly. I have to try that out. Oh. I don't know the number of the Aurifil, but I think I have like a buttery, soft yellow. I think I brought it to Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken, which means it's still in my bag. Alright, so this is selvage, so I'm going to line up. I don't mind having selvage in the seam allowance if I need to, you know, if I'm getting really close to the dregs of the fabric, but I definitely don't want it in the body of the color. So, oh wait, yep, SR, there we go. So that's a good amount. I'm happy with that. Do this. This is a new rotary cutter, and the I loosen it, and as I'm using it, the screw tightens more, so then it just starts pushing the fabric, which is highly annoying. But I want my favorite rotary cutter is in now my go bag to go to Pennsylvania, so I'm going to live with the annoyance for a little bit. Even though it is really annoying. Alright, let's loosen it up a little bit. Is that loosening or is that tightening? Oh, now the whole thing is spinning. There we go. There we go. Now she's rolling. Alrighty. Last thing I want to have is a rotary cutter incident live on YouTube. Is SR 1? Yep, SR is 1. So SM is 5 and 6. Oh, you use glide while embroidering. It is less lint, and it's a very pretty shine to it. It's not like, I don't think it's a distracting shine, but it does have a very pretty shine to it. Four and 5. All right. Donna, I am working on the Bluejay. Yes! We've got some of the sparkle here for his feathers. Yeah, B is the feathers, not the tail feathers yet, just the wing feathers. Alright. What will fit in this section? I think this one will fit good here, so that's what I'm going to go with. Yeah. Rolling much better now. Just needed to take the time to loosen that bolt again. Alright, so that's 5. Six. And then let's fit 4 in here somewhere. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is low. And now I'm going to have that song in my head all day. And if you don't know what song low reminds me of, I'm not going to say. Has to do with boots with the fur. Ugh. Where did I? Oh, here we go. I use the pattern weights usually to hold these back, so I just pulled out a couple of them. Nice. Yay! Alright, so next unit is all cut. Again, if I was going to store this, I would flip it over so that piece 1 was on top, and then pin it to this unit that way for storage. Just like that. That I have gotten myself into the routine of always doing that, so I always know when I'm coming back to a unit, the piece I have on top is the first one through the last number, whatever. So for this one it's 8, so it's 1 through 8. You just get into the routine of storing your fabrics in whatever manner works for you. Then you know every time you come back to it, when you go to your working section, you're gonna know exactly where to start. And a lot of these blues for BJ the Bluejay, a lot of them are very close and similar to each other, where we're just playing with shades of blue to, show the dynamic coloring of a blue jay. So knowing exactly what the numbering is and that you're looking at that same numbering every single time is super helpful. That is to say that and then making sure you're consistent and paying attention, because I have done on a live where I was talking, I double flipped and then sewed a unit incorrectly because I double flipped. For some reason I flipped it over and then in talking flipped it back over and pinned it on the wrong way, which was my mistake. But try to pay attention. Hi, Catherine. A butter yellow glide that you use. Oh, nice. They sent a gray with Arnie with the new Juki. It's very similar to Dove Gray of Aurifil. So those are the pre-wound bobbins that I got too. And I'll have to check out what their butter yellow is in Glide. Oh, covering the washers in fabric? That's so cool. Okay, now I'm fascinated on how you would do that. Would you glue it? How would you do it? Would you put elastic in? Or, what are the stitches where you can rouge the fabric and you pull the one thread and the other threads kind of scooch the fabric all together? I don't remember what that stitch is called. Bobbins. Yeah. So the very cool thing about going to Pennsylvania with Quilting with Stephanie Stitches is that she brings a little mini shop. So a lot of the things, the notion-y things, like last time, the first time in Pennsylvania, the first retreat there in Pennsylvania, my rotary cutter totally crapped out. So I had to buy a new one and only had to go the 6 feet to the sales table and pick up a rotary cutter. So it is nice to know that some of the normal stuff will be there if I need to fix or find or do anything. Wrap them with bias strips and glue the end. Okay, cool. Wrap it and tie the... Ooh, oh, so it looks like a little present. Oh, that's darling. So the bias strips, so it would be, you could still see the hole. That's cool. But then like the little present thing is adorable. Oh, they would look like little candies on the piece. That's very cute. All right. I know, one of these days I'm going to get all of the fancy machinery or visual aid guide things, and I will be able to show cutting and ironing and sewing all at the same time. But that's expensive. That's some expensive stuff. But I think about it, I dream about it when I win the lottery that I don't play, you know, and I get to have an entire dream setup. I will have a ton of camera angles and be able to switch the camera angles and a long arm and an embroidering machine. I'll have it all. But that's in my dreams because, again, you have to play the lottery to win the lottery, and I do not do that. Alright, let's make sure I've got everything covered with the sheen. And it feels good. Hi, Irish Sail Lady. Here, I'll take the paper off. I use the washers when I'm cutting the fabrics. I will hold the paper down and throw the washer like up here and then cut the fabric so it keeps the paper out of the way. Everybody says, oh, ask me how I know. I will tell you, I know because I didn't do that and then cut a piece of paper in the beginning, way in half, and had to reprint and start all over again. That was a pain in the tush. Though, I reprinted it, but this was before I knew the washi tape trick, where I could have just washi taped it, and that washi tape doesn't gum up your needle. So I would have saved myself, but that was new. I was a baby FPPer then, and didn't know. Oh, now I gotta line this back up again, because if I don't, and I just think I know, I'll end up ruining it. All right. Ooh, it is 12:45 already. Aw, it's been so much fun hanging out with you guys. I missed hanging out. I missed sewing the Lock of the Month clue fight. I have all these stray hairs that are just driving me to distraction. I miss sewing that live with you guys. I do have it, the pre-recorded cutting the fabrics and sewing piecing block 5 in my playlist, but it was definitely not the same sewing it by myself. I was fast. I got it done super fast, but it was not the same, not having everybody here to talk to. But it was a good weekend. I did enjoy the weekend, hanging out with the babies. Yeah, washers, weights. Exactly. They equal weights. fabric out of the way. And I am ironing the Kona Sheen, the sparkly. So I will be doing it from this side, ironing it so that the iron does not touch the layer of sparkle and do bad things to it like it did last time. So we'll do that. I do want to make it as tight there as possible. I'm doing some finger pressing of the sheen. I'm gonna finger press it back to help with ironing it from the back. Get it as flat as I can. Since I can't run the iron up against the ledge of that second piece when ironing from the back side, I want to aggressively finger press it back, which I think that looks pretty good. So then we will iron this down. With the Kona Sheen, I don't put the Acorn Easy Press on the top layer because I also wasn't sure what that would do, ironing that on top of it. I wasn't sure how it would react to the sparkle. So for just the sheen, I do put the barest bit of the Easy Press solution where I would normally do it if I was traditionally piecing. So it's just the two layers. So I'm just very careful about how much I do when I'm only doing two layers. But I get to keep all the sparkle. So I'm very happy about that. Every time I think I have the sparkle showing. There we go. I like that. It's like a little black dress with a little touch of sparkle. Alright. Fabric 3. Since we're 10 minutes, I'm going to start the housekeeping of talking to you guys about what's coming up on my channel and where else I will be, like this evening. This evening at 6 o'clock on Stephanie's channel, so Quilting with Stephanie Stitches. Her channel is linked in the description below, but is sewing up Village Green Clue 8. We are almost done with Village Green. I am so amazed how fast this has been going. We are doing Clue 8 this evening at 6 o'clock, and I think if I can't make it back in time, I will join in on the chat though, just to be able to hang out with you guys, because I was for sure going to miss it last night because of the show, but I will try to make some of it tonight. But if you are a Village Greener, tonight on Stephanie Stitch's channel at 6 p.m., which is a little bit different than the regular Saturday, which is 5 p.m. So, but that's all right. So we'll do that. Then I will have my podcast on Thursday morning, but I'm going to pre-record that because I will be leaving first thing Wednesday morning, hopefully, with what the weather's been. When we'll be heading to, I haven't thought about looking at the weather, Ingrid. We'll be enjoying our time in Walnutport, Pennsylvania. So that will be this week, which will mean that my Sunday brunch will not be happening as it normally would. What I'm going to do is do some pre-recorded things with the Alice in Wonderland Art East Quilting Company block that I'll be sewing up. I'll be doing that on Monday and Tuesday before. So I'll have some of that footage for Sunday, and then I'm gonna do like a picture compilation of folks that want to. Oh yeah, don't talk about the weather. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Folks that want to be and allow me to. I wanted to do a little photo compilation of folks. Actually, now I'm saying that, and I haven't talked to Stephanie about that yet. So I take that back. We'll see what Sunday brunch is going to look like, because the retreat is Stephanie's retreat. So I need permissions from people. So we'll see and listen, I say that with, I have absolutely no problem if that. Dang it! I always put my foot in it. We'll see what I have on Sunday morning, because people might not want to be on it, and you know I'm not there to promote my channel. I'm there to be a part of the retreat. So I have said too much because I speak before I think. Lord have mercy. Anyway, I will have something up on Sunday. Good golly. Oh, you ever have the tiny voice in your head going, "Shut up, you're talking too much." And that's what was just happening to me. Blah. But anyway, so my Sunday live will not be a live. It will be pre-recorded stuff and things. And then we are heading home Sunday. So I will be back on a regular schedule that following Wednesday. But quickly following that, I will be traveling out to Oklahoma. So the podcast and the Sunday live thing will have a different flavor that first week of October too. So a lot of cool, fun things are happening, but it's impacting the schedule of what I've been doing and setting a cadence for over the summer. But it's all fun stuff, and I'm looking very forward to sharing all of the fun stuff with you guys. Clue 8 already. I know, it's crazy. I'm so excited about the sparkle. I think I've missed some comments, so I'm going to scroll on back. Here we go. Oh, appreciate it. Yes, the traveling is going to be fun. I love traveling with Ingrid. It's been so much fun to find somebody that lives so close and that you totally like vibe with and gets your weirdness and loves the hobby that you love just as much as you love it. It's been amazing. It's been awesome, and I have had the privilege of traveling around to Stephanie's retreats with Ingrid this past year. Jackie, I do not. I don't starch them because the majority of the ones that I have done are not like blanket. Jeez, again, stepping in it. Not quilts that I'm going to be using to like snuggle or like have on a bed. They're display pieces, so they're not going to be washed in the same and used in the same manner. So I don't pre-wash or not pre-wash. I don't starch or well, I also don't pre-wash, but I never pre-wash, so there's that. But I don't starch it before, and I'm cutting the pieces so small that I don't have to have the what's the extra oomph that starching gives, I guess. I don't feel like I'm missing that with how small the pieces are. So, no, I don't starch it. My calendar is full. It's so cool. You know, a couple of years ago, I started doing all of these. I was like, oh, my kids are old enough now. Like, I can go and do things. Oh, I guess I can change this. Sorry, y'all. I can go and do things like me focused, like taking improv classes and joining an improv troupe and getting into quilting and going to retreats. And I have so much has opened up to me. Like, I don't know, it's just never too late. I guess that's just the final word. It's never too late to, like, go and do the things that you have always wanted to do. And, you know, it wouldn't change getting married and having kids and raising my babies and doing all the fun things that we've done. That is just as much an adventure as what I get to do now. But it's pretty freaking cool. These past couple of years have been incredible and life-changing, and I am so excited to see what the future holds for all of it. And then I get to do all of that with you guys here on YouTube, which is also very exciting. Oh, Patty, have fun wrestling a crocodile. Thank you, guys. All right. Well, just a couple minutes left, so we're going to wrap it up. I did get 2 pieces on that, on the next piece. So I got the sparkly sheen on. So I'll probably finish this guy up, and I'll be posting pictures of progress on my Instagram and Facebook. So those social media pieces are in the description. I always forget to say those are also Nightbot commands. Like if you hit no space exclamation mark socials, you can see where my Instagram and YouTube is. Facebook is, but I always forget to say that. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, Pat, it's crazy. Okay, Stephanie. Thank you. Just run the mouth sometimes. All right, everybody. Well, everyone have the most fun rest of your weekend. For those that I will see in just a couple of days, Thursday's official kickoff for the Nut House in Walnutport, Pennsylvania. I hope you all are successful in checking off your checklists, and everybody has very safe travels, because I can't wait to see you all and give hugs and sew up the amazing stuff. I am so excited to find out what Stephanie has in store for us. And I'm excited to do the ironing board piece that we're all coming together to do, which Stephanie shared on her channel too, the tutorial on how to do her little travel ironing board. So I'm really looking forward to that. I got the ironing board fabric, and I thought, so 2 yards probably would have covered it. I thought I'd ordered 3 yards because, like we were talking about earlier, extra. I ordered 4 yards of ironing board fabric, so I'm going to have plenty for whatever insanity people want to get into with ironing board fabric. And it is packed and ready to go. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your week. I will have my podcast, which will go up on Thursday. I hope to see you guys this evening, if not live, but in the chat at least. And then I'll be, talking about, I'll be so excited to talk about the Nut House in a couple of weeks when I'm back to a regularly scheduled live. All right, everybody. Hi, we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks. Bye. Oh, let's see if I can do this. Bye.